Hey everyone, Shawn Sav Mu, and today we're going to show you how to compress those irons to impress the people around you and really knock down those scores and get you that beautiful pleasure that you want in your golf game. And we got 3 awesome exercises. You're going to see Savannah do a 2-ball drill down the hill. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to show you the 2-tee drill, and Moo's going to show you the volleyball impact back drill. That's going to end the show in a bang. You don't want to miss that. We'll see you in a bit. But before we continue, we would just love for you to join us and subscribe to our channel.
Make sure you give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below.
And hit the bell so you never miss any videos.
Don't miss any more of the videos. Wow. Now, one of the tasks that we use at Wisdom in Golf is the carrot peeler task. So imagine I had a carrot peel here, and I wanted to flip the carrot peels over here on Savannah's head. Weird. She'll be really happy about that one. So notice the peak speed is out there when I'm trying to send the carrot peels that way. The sole of your club is a carrot peeler. The surface of the grass is the surface of your carrot, and we're sending divot peels of grass into the direction that we want the ball to go. So notice I got 2 tees here on the ground. I want to take both tees and send them into my net here. So if I'm over here, I can't get to the second tee. That's no good. If I'm over here, I can't get to the first one. So I need to position the tees in a way that I can take both and send them over there. And you'll notice that the first one will need to be very close to the center of your feet. If I were to cut some grass with one arm, notice that my big windmill here, the bottom of that windmill is always under the center of that circle, which is my shoulder. So whether I go that way or that way, it's always cutting grass here. Now, when you bring both hands together to take your grip, the center of the machine now is right there between your 2 clavicles, which is the sternal notch. And notice I got the first tee situated there. And look where the club wants to cut. And notice it's cutting a wide enough swath of turf that I can send it in that direction. A swath of turf.
I've never heard that one.
I had to take my time on that one.
You said it.
So I'm going to deliver my divot peel in the direction of my target. Here we go. Notice the energy of my swing is being delivered that way, and notice I was cutting grass there. So now I'm going to take both tees and whip them into the net there where that target is. Here we go. Notice how both tees fly out of there and they're sticking right into the net. Now, if I take the ball, notice the above my head or beside me right now, you'll see a Dustin Johnson chip, and you see where the club is coming down, catches the ball, cuts the stem of the dandelion, then continues down to take the turf. Notice the turf, the blades of grass are flying out after the ball has already started to take off. So if I were to put a ball in relation to these tees, notice that would need to be positioned here. So I want, if I'm collecting both tees with the sole of the club, watch what happens. In slow motion, I want those tees to go into the net, so my brain goes to the ground. Uses the ground to get my body out of the way. Notice my hands come through first, then the shaft, then the heel of the club. Notice that? So now the ball gets struck by the face first. Then the stem of the dandelion gets cut, and where it starts to cut grass is where the first tee is. And then where it cuts grass at ground level is basically between the tees, and then it leaves the ground and leaves the grass, but I get the second tee before it comes out of the grass. So all I'm focused on is sending both tees into the net. The ball is just an afterthought and a result of me sending those tees in there. So I'm feeling the weight of my arm club unit, and I'm whipping the tees into the net. And did you hear that sound? Oh, and then look at that. There's my 140-yard A-wedge. Kind of cool, right? You see how solidly struck that was. Now, you want to get a little more adventurous. You're going to see Sav do this drill right now, and I'm just introducing her to this drill. I don't think she's seen this yet, and I don't think Mu has seen this yet either. So I'm going to put 2 golf balls about 4 to 6 inches apart. And imagine these are 2 dandelions in disguise. And I'm going to take both dandelion stems and cut through them in that direction. So what's actually going to transpire, and that's why I need enough loft, I got my A-wedge here. The first ball is going to get struck and leap off the face over the second ball. And then the club keeps coming along the grass, and then I'm going to cut through the second ball. It's going to feel, when we do that, if I swing towards you, when I'm coming down, I'm playing the first ball a hair back of center like I was hitting a draw. So I'm coming down, the club's coming from the inside. It feels like the first ball is going to start a little to the right edge of the second ball. And then as the club stabilizes through the arc, the second ball is going to feel like it's going straight. But what actually happens is the first ball flies straight and the second ball goes a little to the left. Okay? So here we go. You probably won't see the flight on this one because the machines got confused by 2 golf balls here, but here we go. You're going to see 2 golf balls come off this club face though.
Mu's eyes were like, what?
What?
Do that in slow-mo.
So notice how those 2 golf balls came off the club face? Yeah, we should do that in slow-mo, right? We'll do it in slow motion for you right now. How about that? So,
My turn?
let's have a look at Sav down the slope, and you're also going to get a great tip on how to hit downhill shots. And this really goes against the grain, okay? So you got to pay attention because you're going to really improve your downhill shots.
You just have to understand how the club works.
Yeah, so if you look at the sole of the club,
Yeah.
look where it's cutting.
Yeah. Right.
It's cutting all the way past.
Yeah.
See that?
Past the second ball.
You got it?
Yep.
Ready to go? Down the slope, let's do the simple task of sending 2 tees into the net. So tee number 1, tee number 2, let's see you sweep those into the net. There you have it. So 2 tees, 1 ball. You're sweeping both tees into the net. Now, take your address position, please. Notice how her weight is down the slope, right in there. Do her shoulders look like they're lined up with the slope? No, that's a big no-no. Put your shoulders with the slope. No, line them up with the slope. No, down this way. Yeah. So now after you see, whoop, hang on a second. Now they're with the slope. Does that make any sense?
No.
Your shoulders are not even with the slope on a flat lie. Please banish this from your mind, okay? So all we want is we want to settle ourselves in a balanced position where the weight is obviously going to be on the downhill foot. So Sav, if you were walking and cutting grass, please do that. Go ahead and walk through it. All right. So we're walking and cutting grass down the slope, right? So let me see you walk and send those tees down the slope. So it up the slope, down the slope, up the slope, down the slope.
Okay.
Fabulous. Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So now if we put 2 balls down the slope, you really have to stay all the way down the slope, because you notice her balance is phenomenal at the end of the swing. She doesn't have to take a walk down the hill. She's beautifully braced on the inside of that, on her forward leg. That was your first time.
Yeah.
First time, 2 balls down the hill. Any issues?
No.
Drop the mic.
Can I
Wasn't
do
that
one more?
cool? Yeah, just can I do one more, she says. Absolutely. It is a phenomenal drill to keep you in the shot. Bingo. Right?
Yeah.
So you can't slide up the hill and try to lift the ball off the hill.
No.
Can't do that. So you have to stay with the slope with your grass cutting tool and get really good at whipping down the slope. And you notice the brain naturally will hold you. We would just love every golf course to have every shot on a hilly lie. It's so easy. Way easier than everybody makes it out to. And notice we're just staying on a simple task. 2 tees down the hill, 2 golf balls down the hill. When it comes to 1 ball now, imagine there's a second tee or a second ball in front of that one, and whip the sole of a club down the slope beyond the golf ball, and you'll always have amazingly solid contact. Thanks, Sav.
Welcome.
Mu's next with the volleyball. Stay tuned. Just for the fun of it, because, you know, Mu's in his 3rd year. We want to take it a little easier on him, but we're going to do the 2-tee drill and 2-ball drill because you said you were struggling this week with a little bit upward angle of attack.
Yeah.
So you kind of lost the wheels a little bit.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
All right. So I didn't know about that. So let's do 2 tees. Send them out there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. So here are the 2 tees again.
Yeah.
Send the 2 tees into the net.
Okay.
There it is. Beautifully struck shot. Oh, there you go. A little 130-yard sand wedge with a little bit of 2-foot backspin.
Yeah.
How good was that, right? So,
He's so smiley.
so the 2 tees would basically be sitting like this.
Okay.
So send both tees into the net.
Okay.
Bingo.
Okay.
And that the ball just actually hit the stripe, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was cool.
So there's your 2 tees.
Okay.
And you're going to just sweep both tees to the left side of the intermediate point with the weight of your arms.
Gotcha. Got greedy.
No worries. So let's just look at that angle of attack and how it changed,
Okay.
if any. And we're now 3.3 down.
Yeah, I was like 2.4 to 3.
You see his face? Ooh, right?
Yeah.
2 tees into the net, please.
Okay.
Use momentum,
Okay.
no force. There we go.
That was pretty.
So that was 7-iron.
209 carry.
So 213, 214.
Yeah.
That's your 215 club.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And angle of attack, drum roll, 1.5 down. So you're no longer up,
No.
right? You were like 2-3 degrees up,
4 degrees up sometimes.
4 degrees up
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah.
So it just means that you were not clear about the task that was in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then do you find that it makes you stay with the shot longer when you got 2 items to put in there?
Yeah, it's a different feeling for sure.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to see the volleyball, go to our last video that we did. You'll see Mu with the volleyball, okay? We'll catch you later.